I think they're one of those teams that could be in trouble and could sort of drop down pretty quickly if they there's the Chelsea game, and then they're facing Southampton next, and then there's Man City. I mean that's a pretty rough stretch for them. And we'll see how they can manage that. But I think they can. They might find themselves in the relegation zone pretty quickly. Let's talk a little bit about Chelsea, because they've been really impressive on the defensive side of the ball. The stat I have is that they're allowing a league low, I think 6.3 shots against, which is that's one of those things that's like even better than Atletico Madrid, and to give you I think last season
Antonio Conte.
Last season Man City broke the record in the Premier League with an average of 9 shots allowed, and Chelsea are like at 6.3 after 3 games. So how much of that is Antonio Conte? How much of that is the players? What do you think?
Both, because the players probably now in. I think they'll improve quite a bit, because Antonio Conte usually uses centre backs who can play at right back or left back as well, and the centre back who plays in the centre, flanked by 2 right centre backs and left centre backs, is someone who's a leader, and he fielded Chiellini and Barzagli at left back and at left centre back and right centre back at Juventus. The players who can cover for the left backs and right backs if they bomb forward too much from wide positions. That's something I really like about Conte's side, and it seems as if the players are fitting in quite well into his system. And obviously, N'Golo Conte has been doing quite well in shielding the back for quite brilliantly.
Yeah, and I think another sort of couple players that are worth mentioning. Eden Hazard has had a great start with I think he's second in the league with 14 shots, and he's also number 1 in dribbles, which is 23 dribbles, and 17 of them have been successful. So he's had a great start. Just in terms of the way he's played, and he looks like a completely different player, and a little bit like Frank Ribéry, who's happy to see Guardiola leave. Like I think nobody's happier to see Mourinho leave than maybe Eden Hazard, who's revitalized. Anything else you want to say about Chelsea, or should we move on to the last game?
Yeah, I think Chelsea will probably win this game quite comfortably.
Win this one. All right. So let's move on to the last game on the Monday matchup of the David Moyes All-Star game special. Sunderland, his current team, are facing his former team, the team that he's known for, Everton, who have had a nice start to the season. Everton have 7 points.
Yeah, they've looked quite good, yeah.
And that's the interesting thing, is that they've actually looked good doing it, which probably the more shocking. The more shocking, I think, they're. I want to say they are up there in the league with they're taking 15 shots a game, and I think they've taken the most shots on goal with 22, which you wouldn't really associate with Everton. So what do you think that's down to? Because I think a lot of people, analysts and pundits, were kind of down on Everton, even though they did get Ronald Koeman. But they were down on the Bolasie signing, and then having lost John Stones and a couple other big names. What's gone on at Everton that's made them because even Romelu Lukaku hasn't looked that great so far. So what's going on with them? Why are they so good?
Barring the attacking side of the game, I think Idrissa Gueye has started the season quite well, along with the young Mason Holgate.
Yeah,
who's looked quite good at centre back and even right back as well, because Ronald Koeman has played him at right back for a game during the previous game against Stoke. So I think the defensive side of the game has improved quite a lot. Although the absence of Seamus Coleman is something that doesn't allow Everton to bomb forward from fullback areas like they did 2 seasons ago when they qualified for the Europa League. But with Mason Holgate, they've got someone who's really good when it comes to defending. And with the players like Yannick Bolasie, Kevin Mirallas and Ross Barkley doing quite well for them, even if fullbacks don't bomb forward, they can still manage on their own.
Yeah,
in terms of scoring goals.
Little statistical note on Idrissa Gueye. He's attempted 21 tackles and has made 17 of them, which is an astonishing rate, and that's the number one in the league. And so I think that also allows somebody like Gareth Barry, who's probably not known for his tackling and space, to just more like, sit back or even just go forward and knowing that there's going to be cover for him. And then, they've also, another sort of summer signing is Ashley Williams. How do you think he has fit in for Everton so far?
Yeah, it's been decent enough, but I think he will improve. He's probably taken a step upwards when it comes to playing for a club that is slightly bigger than Swansea.
Yeah.
And alongside Ramiro Funes Mori, who had a good season last campaign, I see them as perfect partners for Everton at the back.
Yeah, interesting. And then I think Phil Jagielka is sort of still in the mix there. Veteran, but it's surprising to see Everton not only just start out the season so well, but even like actually play kind of attractive or semi-attractive football, and they've got actually pretty good schedule coming up, because I think this is a winnable game for them even away. And then there's the match. They're hosting Middlesbrough, and then afterwards they got to travel to Bournemouth, and then they host Palace and the Man City. So they could be in the top 4 or 5 for a while, and it could be one of the surprising. Let's talk about Sunderland for last. The new David Moyes team. They've made some very David Moyes signing. Mostly his old players like Adnan Januzaj. I think
Don Love and Paddy McNair.
Right, Paddy McNair. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on Sunderland this year? Having started off the season with 2 losses, and now they picked up the draw against Southampton.
Yeah, David Moyes mentioned that they'll probably be in the fight for relegation at the end of the season. I quite agree with that because unlike Sam Allardyce, Sunderland, unlike during Sam Allardyce's reign, Sunderland as of now don't have a tactical identity. Unlike under Sam Allardyce, who carries a more pragmatic approach to winning games than David Moyes does. So Sunderland will probably be on relegation zones this season.
Yeah, and so, I don't know, because we've already talked about like so many teams that are going to be in the relegation zone, and I think it's interesting with Sunderland, because I think this might be the team that sort of David Moyes can really put his impact on. It's sort of like probably a little bit below his sort of managerial quality, but then again, he has failed.
Yeah, he's just got to replenish his
so he's going to kind of
managerial career
his value.
And with the league out for the past 3 games, he's been a really important player for Sunderland over the past few seasons. And as soon as he comes back, I do see Sunderland improving defensively. And with Jan Kirchhoff now back, I see them becoming a more defensively assured side than they were in the past season.
Okay, I think that's probably all the games that we have for this season. So, anything else that you want to get off your chest, or anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's fine, because Manchester Derby is coming in. There's nothing much to say about that.
Okay, so
it's still defined.
Just for the final thing, where can people find you online or Twitter, or where can they read your articles?
Yeah, I'm at Twitter at the Footy Mad.
Footy Mad.
Obviously at Facebook.
On Facebook. Okay. All right. So Footy Mad is the Twitter to go to if you want to read and see more of the insights of Kaustubh Pandey. So thank you very much, Kaush, for coming on and talking about the EPL, and I hope that everybody will enjoy the matches, and we very much look forward to talking about these games in more detail, and then maybe even more previews down the line. Because next week there's Chelsea-Liverpool, which looks like a pretty good game. So we will talk about that.
Even the Spurs-Man City game is coming up next month, I guess.
Yeah, well, all right. Well, thanks a lot. So guys, if you want to listen to more podcasts and read more of our stuff, you can do so on SoundCloud at BundesPL or Spreaker at BundesPL, and then the website is BundesPremierLeague.com. The Twitter is also BundesPL.